Hi, I'm James Headley, and welcome to the Living in Naples channel. In today's episode, I want to provide my perspective on the upcoming changes due to the National Association of Realtors settlement that I discussed here on the channel a few months back. While I would certainly encourage you to check out that video titled NAR Settlement, in a nutshell, the local MLS will no longer be allowed to advertise the amount of any cooperating commission being offered to agents who represent the buyers of a home. And by extension, buyers will be required to sign representation agreements with their chosen agent prior to being shown any homes. Today I'm going to focus on what this means for home sellers and provide some thoughts that I hope will be useful to consider for prospective sellers out there. Before doing so, let me take a moment to encourage you to subscribe to this channel if you haven't done so already, and also share the channel with those that might also find the information in my videos useful. Thank you very much for doing that, and also for liking any videos that you might find beneficial. Now, on to the impacts of the NAR settlement and my advice for sellers. First, don't be penny wise and pound foolish. Selling your home will be one of, if not the biggest financial transactions that you'll be a part of in your lifetime. So be sure that you are making decisions that will result in the best possible outcome for you. To put it directly and simply, that most often means netting the highest dollar amount possible when selling your home. While I will get into more detail in a moment, I hope you'll keep this overarching point in mind. Your aim is to leave the closing table with the most dollars possible, all other deal terms being equal or at least weighted accordingly. So, what might you want to be aware of, if not wary of, as the NAR settlement takes effect? There are lots of articles, news reports, etc. that might lead you to believe that if the average home commission in your area has been, say, 5%, you as a seller should now expect to pay only 2.5% when selling your home, since the days of advertised cooperating commissions with buyer side agents are going by the wayside. As Lee Corso, though, loves to say, not so fast, my friend. Just because those cooperating commissions are no longer advertised via the MLS, you are not precluded from offering them when selling your home. Looking at this through the most extreme competitive lens possible, which of the following home sellers would you like to be? Seller A lists their home for $800,000 and decides to pay their listing agent 2.5%, but not offer any cooperating commission for buyer's agents. Seller B lists their home for $800,000 as well, with a 5% total commission, with half of that to be offered to the agent who brings the eventual buyer. On paper, of course, A might seem to be the obvious choice, given that you would save $20,000 in commission costs at closing if both houses sell for $800,000. However, that last phrase, if both houses sell for $800,000, is the key consideration that I want you to keep in mind. What happens if Seller A sells for $750,000 and Seller B sells for $775,000? Some quick math shows us that Seller B actually nets more, $5,000 more than Seller A at closing. Well, of course, you may be saying we can play with the numbers all we want and make one thing look better than another, but why would we think House B would sell for $25,000 more than House A as we continue this example? Let's say that there are 50 active agents selling in the neighborhood where homes A and B are located. If each of them has an established relationship with just a couple of prospective buyers for a home such as Seller A or B is offering, that's a potential pool of 100 buyers they may be encouraging to consider House A or House B or both. I will get into a deeper discussion of these MLS changes from the buyer side in a subsequent video, so let's set aside for now how and what type of buyer representation agreements might impact these hypothetical sales, and simply ask in this case, which of these homes do you think a buyer's agent is more likely to bring to the attention of their clients? Is it the one where they as an agent will potentially make nothing, barring additional negotiations or concessions, as in the case of Seller A's home? Or will it be the one where they stand to make $10,000 plus, even after their broker splits, expenses, etc.? It becomes clear pretty quickly that Seller B is likely to get more motivated and informed interest in their home than Seller A. All else relatively equal, that translates to a greater likelihood of selling quickly and on better terms than hoping the right buyer finds Seller A's home via Agent A and or via passive aggregator sites like Zillow. I know that when I'm selling my home, I want the most eyeballs on it, and I want the local experts bringing qualified buyers that they know are good candidates to buy my home. Moving beyond this basic example that I hope captures the central consideration or considerations that sellers need to keep in mind when deciding the terms on which they list their home, I think there are some related considerations to keep in mind. Number one, what's the overall market look like? In a frenetic seller's market like we witnessed up until a year or so back, offering lower commissions in general and or reduced or limited cooperating commissions could make more sense in some cases as buyers are so plentiful and lining up to buy any available homes, thus reducing the impact of buyers' agents in many cases on what sellers' eventual nets might be. Number two, how unique is your home? An initial word of caution here, just about every seller thinks their home is unique and everyone will want to pay top dollar for it. So don't fall into that trap. Make yourself take an unbiased look at how your home compares and know that a truly good listing agent is going to be a major help with this versus telling you only what you want to hear and or overpromising. If you truly have a value standout home, again, you might be able to offer a little less on the commission side of things one way or another. Number three, all aspects of the listing commission have always been and will continue to be negotiable post-settlement. Compare apples to apples when selecting a listing agent and understand what you're getting for your money and what you aren't. Don't let them tell you the standard commission is X% or anything of that ilk. And be sure to ask questions about things like how they arrive at a particular suggested listing price for your home, how they will handle commissions differently, if at all, if they also represent the buyer, and things of that nature. And finally, number four, of course, just like in the pre-settlement environment, give your choice of a listing agent the careful due diligence it deserves given the size of this transaction. Now, what qualifies someone to be your agent? What's their background? What is their strategy for attracting the greatest number of the right type of buyers to your home? I could likely go on a lot more, and perhaps we'll revisit this topic as we see in the coming months just how this is all playing out in the marketplace. But I'll stop there for now. I hope this is helpful to you or someone you know if they're thinking about selling their home. And of course, I would be most happy to speak with you or anyone else one-on-one to discuss your specific home and your particular circumstances anytime. Until then, thanks again for liking, subscribing, and sharing, and I will see you soon in the next episode.